It's Kirsten and Chris with Savvy Pants Shop.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
It is Style Me Monday. You may not be watching this video on a Monday, but we make these videos on Mondays for part of the Style Me series at Savvy Pants. Today we're going to be talking about the LuLaRoe Kimonos. Oh shoot, I didn't even go into the Bianca.
Oh, you don't matter?
I'm going to show you all four today of the LuLaRoe Kimonos, and I'm going to take one in particular, which is really fun to style with, the Lindsey, and I'm going to show you several different ways to do this. So, let's get started.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. Okay, the first one that I'm going to show you is called the Monroe. This is the kimono that they are no longer making. It has been replaced by the Shirley. I don't know why. I can still find these Monroes out and about in other places, and when I do, I grab them up because I love them that much. So, here you go. A little bit higher and more fitted in the armpits than the other two kimonos. Same length sleeve, same waterfall front. I've got mine on today with my Julia, which I think really showcases these kimonos really nicely. I stepped on the stool so that you guys can see the fringe. This is what makes the Monroe the Monroe, is the fringe on the bottom. That's how you know the Monroe. You're talking a little bit closer to the body, a little bit more tapered than our other kimonos, and longer than the Lindsey, but not quite as long as the Shirley. So there you go. The Monroe kimono. This is a size small. I tell people size down in these kimonos. I think that they run really large, which is great if you want to do some great styling things with it. So there you go. First one, the Monroe is the one with the fringe. The second kimono,
Numero dos.
the Shirley. This is what they're replacing the Monroe with. And I'm going to point out some differences. You have the same sleeve. You have the same fit in the armpit. You have the same gorgeous waterfall front, but this particular one is a lot longer. It's trench coat length is what they call that, and it doesn't have any fringe on it. Still brings the middle, the tapered in, and makes the body appear longer and leaner. We all love that, correct? So there you go, the Shirley kimono, no fringe, a little bit longer, tapered just the same, and they've become very popular. There you go, the Shirley kimono. The third one,
Numero tres.
this happens to be the Lindsey kimono. Totally different than the other two. And don't forget, you guys, most of these kimonos are going to come in a lot of different fabrics, which we also all love. I've picked several today that are in the chiffon fabric. I love this fabric. It's nice and light and airy. I live in Arizona, so I don't want anything too heavy for most of the year. This is the Lindsey. So, with the Lindsey, you're going to notice the first thing when you put it on, much boxier fit, much more roomy fit. Good and bad, but the good thing about it, you can size down in these, and you can find a variety of materials that will fit you and size accordingly in those materials. The bad side, they're really oversized. Okay, so there you go. I've got a little bit of the waterfall front going on here, but as you can see, much shorter, no fringe, and definitely a more square, boxy look and boxy fit. Definitely size down in these Lindseys, you guys. They run big. So, I'm going to get started with several different ways that you can style this puppy. The first way that I want to stress that I don't think enough people say during these videos is that you can wear all of these kimonos with your bathing suits. People seem to forget about that. It happens to be the biggest way that I can get people interested in these kimonos is by telling them that they want one to wear with their swimsuit, and then they figure out there's so many other ways to do this. So, first way is with your swimsuit. Second way, If I want to bring this a little bit further away from the front and I want to emphasize something that I'm wearing that's gorgeous, that's underneath, I want to take away a little bit more of the attention from the kimono, and I want you to focus on what's underneath. The best way to do that, take your little corners in the front, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab onto those and I'm going to put it around back, and I'm going to tie those ends together very loosely and at the very, very end, okay, behind my back. So tie those corners together. And this takes a little bit of practice. You guys aren't going to it's not going to be perfect the first or second time you do it. Unless you're an anomaly, which could very possibly be. So, I'm just going to tie these together in a little tiny knot right at the end. And look at what that does. What it does is, it still gives me the length, it still provides coverage in the back, but it takes that front of it and it flows it away from the front of the body so that you can showcase the piece that you're wearing underneath it. I've got a Julia on today. I love the Julias, and I think the Julias look great with all of these kimonos. So, there you go. Tied in back so that you can showcase a little bit more about of what you're wearing underneath. Okay, another way to kind of create the same kind of look. I'm going to take both of these ends and I'm just going to make little knots in the very end. This is a kind of a casual way to do this, but just a different, more fun variety. If you don't like these little, I call them bunny ears, tuck it back into the knot. Okay? Tuck it back into the knot on both sides, and then you're going to have a look like this, kind of what's on Franny. See the little knot on Franny? And that's all that is. Kind of brings it away from a little bit, but you still get the hip coverage and you still get a little bit of belly coverage on that one. I really like that. So knot it in the front on either side. The third way, I'm going to take this, I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to belt this. So wrap it like you would a kimono. There you go. One in front, one flap in front of the other. I'm going to take a large or skinny belt, doesn't matter. I'm going to hold that, and I'm just simply going to belt that. Picture this with a Danny on underneath. So the Danny, our tank top dress, love that look. Belted, wrap it and belt it like you would a kimono. It looks very kimono-ish, doesn't it, when you do that? Okay. Another way to do this, another fun way. I'm going to tie this in front. My first tie is going to be low. So I'm going to shimmy this up a little bit on the back, on my butt. I'm going to make a knot in this, but I'm going to keep the knot low, not necessarily tight. And I'm going to do a sailor knot, or whatever kind of knot you want. Get that as tight as you want, or as loose as you want. And I'm tying that low. This gives me the butt coverage that I want in the back. It gives me hip coverage, and it gives me great belly coverage because my sailor knot is right there. Totally detracting from any kind of pooch that I might have. So there you go, Lindsay tied low. Now I'm going to do Lindsay tied high. So you're going to fold this up in the back when you do this one. And you're going to take that up high. I'm going to tie this right underneath my bust. Okay, I'm going to fold right underneath my bust. Sorry, Franny. And I'm going to make another sailor knot. Wow, I love this look. Kind of hippie-ish, kind of vintage, kind of, especially with this print on this Lindsay. But just very, almost country. A little bit country, kind of like your Amy. Love this look. This is going to show off, though. This is going to showcase your hips. You're not going to get any butt coverage on that. But it's really going to balance out somebody who's a little bit bigger on the bottom than they are on the top. This is a great way to balance a small top with a big bottom. Okay, there you go. All right, now, the last way you're going to want to do with a very stretchy material. So something like in a leggings material or an ITY material, the very stretchy kind. This chiffon, not stretchy at all. You can also do this next one with the knit material, which is like the t-shirt jersey material. So what I'm going to do, if this were really, really stretchy, what I would do is I would just turn this all the way into a wrap. I'm going to shimmy this up in the back. And you really need it to be stretchy to do this. I'm going to grab onto these and I'm going to fold these in front. And I'm going to turn this like this, one on top of the other. And then when you have a really stretchy material, you bring that all the way to the back and you tie that in the back. You cannot do it unless you size up in this chiffon. But there you go. A complete wrap kimono, and then I'm going to straighten that out in the front and play with it. So there you go. You need a totally stretchy one to do that. Let me see, a couple more ways. If you've got an oversized, if your Lindsay is too oversized for you, what I'm going to have you do, take a little bit like this, and I'm going to have you tie a rubber band around that little tail on the inside in the back. And you're going to ruche that, just like that, and make it so that it brings it in the back a little bit. So ruching in the back. And the final way to do this, don't be afraid to layer the heck out of these Lindsays. All of these kimonos look wonderful layered. So put your Sarah over this, put your Joy under it, and put your jacket over it. And take my jean jacket, no matter how I want to wear this, wrapped, ruched, knotted. There we go. I'm going to just wear that. That is adorable. Don't pay attention to the roses on the jacket. I'm probably going to want to do a plain jacket if I decide to do this. So there you go. That's at least 7 different ways to wear your Lindsay kimono. And the only other thing I want to tell you, if you feel like you're too small for the Lindsays, the Monroes, or the Shirleys, try the kids' version of it. It's called the Bianca, and they come in sizes 1, 2, and 3. I can fit into a size 3, and sometimes I almost like that better than the smalls. I think they fit my small frame a little bit better. I'm a size 4 to 6, and I love the size 3 Bianca. So don't think that just because you try this on and you're swimming in it, that you can't wear a Lindsay. You can. You can wear the kids' Bianca. That's going to do it for the Style Me session on all of our kimonos and several different ways on how to style your Lindsay. Thank you guys for joining us today. Savvy Pants Shop, Kirsten and Chris.
If you want to find us, check the description below. Be good at it. I love ya.
Thank you,
Talk to you
guys.
later. Bye-bye.